Hi guys, so we are going to continue dividing, and then we are going to be checking our work with multiplication. Now if you kind of notice on this paper, there's not a lot of room, so if you do need to do your work on another sheet of paper, you may go ahead and pull that out to do that. So most of these are all written going horizontally, so of course we need to go ahead and put them into that division bracket that we have. So remember that first number is always that dividend. It goes in the bracket, and then that 23 is your divisor, what you're dividing it by. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 4,859, and I'm going to divide it by 23. All right. And so this one, this is kind of nice because the days before it was, well, it couldn't go in that tens, it couldn't go in, or it couldn't go in the thousands, couldn't go in the hundreds, or the hundreds and the tens. So normally we would only have one digit in our quotient. This one we're probably going to have a few. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this, and I'm going to round that 23 to 20, and I'm just going to go 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 120, and I'm just going to stop at that 140. So this way I know what I can do is I can check to see, okay, well, how many times will 23 be able to go into some numbers? So 23 can go into 48. Well, I've got to think about it. How many times? Well, that 40 is pretty close to that 48. So in my head, if I do 23 times 2, 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4. That's still underneath, below that 48, so I know that I can do 2. So I'm going to put that 2 above the 8 because it goes into that 48. So that's why I want to put that there. Then I know this is 46, so I'm going to subtract this. 8 minus 6 is 2. I'm going to bring down my 5. That's pretty simple that I can do 23 goes into 25 how many times? Well, it's just going to be one time. So I'm going to do 1 times 23, subtract 23. 25 minus 23 is going to be 5 minus 3 is 2. I'm going to bring down my 9. Again, that's pretty simple because it's not going to be close to that 46 when I multiplied it by 2. So it's only going to go in one time, and I'm going to subtract 23, and my remainder should be 6. Okay, so now to check my work, I have to do that 211 times 23. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to do 211 times 23. This is pretty simple. 1 times 3, 3, 1 times 3, 3, 2 times 3, 6. Here's my 0. 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4. So I'm going to add these up. 3 plus 2 is 5. 6 plus 2 is 8. Then I've got 0 plus 4 is 4. But I'm not done because I need to add that 11, right? Which I think I might see a mistake here, guys. Oh, because my remainder is 6. Never mind. Nope, I was looking at 11 right here, not my remainder of 6. So I'm going to add 6 to that. So if I were to add this and that 6 up, I should get this answer right here. And I do, so my answer is correct. So we're going to go ahead and come over to letter B. I'm going to do 4,368, and I'm going to divide it by 52. Okay, well, here's the deal, guys. I already know, first of all, that 52 is not going to go into 43. So when I'm counting by 50s, 100, 150, 200, 350, or sorry, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450. So right now I'm kind of looking at this 436 because that's what I'm going to have to look at because 52 can't go into 43. So when I look here, 450 is going to be too much. 400 is probably the perfect place to look at that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be 52 times 8. So if I do 52 times 8, 8 times 2 is 16, carry my 1. 8 times 5 is 40 plus 1, 416. So it does work. I know that if I add another 50 to it, it's still going to be way too much. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 8 above my 6 because I'm going into that 436. I'm going to subtract 416. I'm going to get 0, 2. I'm going to bring down my 8. And I'm going to look at this, and 200 is pretty close, and that's going to be 4. So now I'm going to do 52 times 4, 8, 208. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 208, And right now I have a remainder of 0. I don't have to put that little r with a 0. I'm just going to leave it, but I am going to check and see, is 52 times 84, will that give me that 4,368? So let's go ahead and check it. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 4 is 20. Got my 0. 8 times 2 is 6. Regroup my 1. 5 times 8 is 40 plus 1 is 41. So I'm going to add this up. 8, 6, 3, 4, 4,368. It checks. So then 84 is my answer. Okay, so we're just going to kind of keep going. You will have to probably do some of these little problems right here, so just make sure that we are always having that, either writing it somewhere small above it so that you can do your work. Also, writing this out will definitely be helpful to be able to get your starting point of what you want to do. All right, and the fun thing is that sometimes you might actually be able to use some of these in problems that you might be doing later on in the lesson. So this next one, I'm just going to draw this line here, is going to be 7,242 divided by 34. Okay, so I'm going to round that to 30. So I'm going to do 30, 60, 90, 120, 115, 150, 180, 210. So first of all, I can look and see, okay, well, 34 does go into 72. I just need to figure out, is it 1 or is it going to be 2 times? So let's just check. 34 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6. So it does go in 2 times. I know it's not going to go in 3 times because it's really close. So I'm going to put that 2 above that 72 because that's what I've put it over and what I'm going to be checking it with. I'm going to subtract 68, 7, 6. So then 12 minus 8 is going to be 4. I'm going to bring down my 4. Now here's the fun thing, because I've already done something like this, I can basically kind of go back and look. Well, it's not going to go in 2 times because there's not enough. It's going to just go in 1 time. I'm going to subtract 34. I'm going to get 1, bring down my 2. I have 102. So I'm probably going to say 90 is really close. 120 is way too far away. So let's do 34 times 3. I get 4 times 3 is 12. Root my 1, 9, 10. Oh goodness, that's 102. So it's 3. 3 times 34 is 102. So if I did this right, I'm going to have no remainder. So the thing is, guys, though, I've got to check it using my multiplication. So I'm going to do 213, and I'm going to multiply it by 34. So let's check this. 2, carry my 1, 5, and 8. I'm going to do 0, 9, 3, and then 6. I'm going to add that. I get 2, 14, carry my 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, carry my 1, 7,242. It checks, so that would be what my answer is. So just remember, not all the time, guys, are we going to have remainders. Over here, I'm going to do 3,165 divided by 45. So 3,164 divided by 45. And here's the fun thing is I'm actually going to use this because I'm in around 45 up to that 50. And I know that 45 can't go into 31, so it's going to have to go into that 316. So if I round 45 up to 50, that 300 is what's really close, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be times 6. So I'm going to do 45 times 6 to see if I can do, 270, and then I've got 16. You know what, I am going to double check, and that is always something that you might want to do, is double check to make sure that it can go in maybe just one more time, especially since it is something that is actually pretty far off. Some of you guys might already be able to see what it might be that it wouldn't work, but if it's something that you cannot necessarily see if it will work or if it will not work, then you will go ahead and I would probably do this step. So let's see here, I've got 5, regroup my 3, that's 28, 29, 30, 31. Oop, that's 315, so that actually works perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and put, oops, sorry, it's going to be 7. I was already doing my subtraction. 7 times 45 is 315, and I get 1. I'm going to bring down my 4. And here's the thing, is that some of you guys might not do this, but remember, you have nothing in your ones column, so you can't just automatically do a remainder of 14, because then if you went through and checked your work, you would not get that answer. So I have to think, does 45 go into 14? No, it doesn't. So it's going to be 0. 0 times 45 is 0. So yes, my remainder is going to be 14, but you can't forget that 70. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 45 times 70. And here's kind of the fun thing. Don't have to do the ones because it's just going to be a bunch of zeros, but I do need to lay my 0 down. I am going to do 7 times 5 is 35. I need to do the opposite numbers. Carry my 3. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 3 more is 31. So I get 3,154, but I've got to add that remainder. So I'm going to add 14. And I do get that remaining answer. So 70 remainder 14 is correct. All right. 2 more problems, guys, and you are doing really well. On this last one, or the second to last one, sorry, I'm actually going to use this right here because I can round that 29 to 30, so I don't need to write my list. So I'm going to do 9,152, and I'm going to divide it by 29. And when I come over here and look to see, well, 90 is really close to 91, so I'm going to do 29 times 3. 9 times 3 is 27, regroup my 2, 6, that's 87. So I'm not going to be able to get another 29 in there. So I know I don't need to do that up and see if 29 goes into 4. So I'm going to go ahead and put this 3 above that 91 because I'm putting it into 91. I'm going to subtract 87. 9, 8, 11 minus 7 is going to be 4. Bring down my 5. Okay, so here's the fun thing. I know that it's not going to go in 3 times. So I'm going to try 29 times 2. So let's see here. 9 times 2 is 8. Carry the 1. 2 times 18. Sorry, guys. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1. It's 58. That goes in. It doesn't go in 2 times, so it's only going to go in that 1 time. So I'm going to subtract 29. 6. 3 minus 2, 16, and I'm going to bring down my 2. So now I need to figure out how many times does 29 go into that 162. And if I come up here, that 150 is really close. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do 5. Let's do 29 times 5. So I have 145. Now, if you wanted me to, guys, we could go ahead and take a look at 6 to see if 6 would go in. But already, if I add even like a 20 to this, I'm going to have 165. So I already know it's not going to work. So I'm going to put my 5 here. I'm going to subtract 145. Can't do my 2 minus 5. 7. So my remainder would be 17. So now if I were to check my work, that 315 times 29, and I have to add 17. So because I am actually running low on space to do some work, I am going to, and I can't turn my paper over because I have done some work on this. And actually, you know what? I can just do it right here, kind of really small. So I'm going to do 315, and I'm going to multiply it by 29. So I'm going to do 5 times 4, or sorry, 5 times 9 is 45, kind of giving the answer there a little bit. 9 times 1 plus 3 is 13. 9 times 3 plus 1 is 28. Cross those off. Put a 0 there. Then 5 times 2 is 10. Regroup my 1. 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. Then I've got my 6. I'm going to add these together. 5, 3, 11, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9,135, but I need to add my 17. 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2. Carry my 1. So far it looks promising. 3, 4, 5. I'm squeezing this in. 1 and then 9. So guys, you know what? It did match. So this is my answer. It did work. Okay. last problem, and then we're going to do some word problems. So I'm going to do 4,424, and I'm going to divide it by 63. And when I'm looking kind of at what I have, I really didn't round anything by 60s. So I'm going to go ahead and do 60, 120, 180, 240. And remember, guys, it's just counting by sixes, but adding that 0. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30 with a 0. 360 with a 0, 420 with a 0, 480 with, or 48 with a 0. So it kind of all works that way. So I know that 63 can't go into 44. So I'm looking at that 442. 420 looks pretty close. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's do 63 times 7. Wow, I get 441. That's pretty nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do 7. I'm going to subtract that 441. And guys, I just get 1. I'm going to bring down my 4. Now, my remainder is not 14 again, guys. It is going to be, I've got to continue because I don't have anything in that ones column. 63 goes into 14 how many times? 0 times. So 0 times 63 is 0. So guys, what is my remainder? Well, my remainder is 14. So let's check to see, does this work? Hopefully I did my math right. Okay, so I'm going to do 63 times 70. And again, to make this easy on myself, I'm not going to do that ones because it's all just going to be zeros. I am going to add my 0 here. 7 times 3 is going to give me 21. 6 times 7 is 42 plus 2 more is 44. And then all I need to do is add that 14. And guys, it checks. So that is the correct answer.